5 seconds.
There's no
I'm out of here.
What was the weekend like for you, and when you first got the call that this might become a possibility, how did things kind of play out?
Well, like Dr. Custer said, we talked on Friday night. I was humbled, I'm not going to lie. He was very straightforward. He said that he wanted me, and that he did not want to open it up. He thought I was the right guy for the job, and I wanted to say yes right then, but I figured I should go home first and have a conversation about that. So he was gracious enough to give me a day to talk to my family, reach out to some of my close friends. I think that's always prudent to do something like that. Make sure you're getting yourself into something you can handle. And when I went home, I had this look on my face, I think of a little surprise. I think Teresa thought someone in my family died or something. But it was an easy decision. This is home for us, and we just needed to have a little bit of time just to soak it all up. After that, it was very quick. You know, you try to balance keeping it a secret, and then you're trying to work out what type of agreement you might have going forward, make sure everybody's comfortable with that. And that really was the easy part, to be honest with you. I think we agreed on most things, and that was very quick, which is good. I've been in some of those where it's not so quick. And so that part, at least on my end, was very easy. So the decision to come here wasn't hard. Like I said, this is our home. We're not originally from Boise, but we've been here since 1998, except for an 8-month span. And this is where we raised our kids. When I called my 2 daughters, both of them teary-eyed, just basically said, "Dad, you're going home. I mean, that's awesome. We love you. We're proud of you." And so that was for most of the weekend. And then I had to address our president and Carol and our staff. And I dreaded that. I really did. That's a real tough thing to do, because they took me in from day one. They were willing to think outside the box. They were good with change. They knew that I wanted to get better every single day, but things needed to change. And our goals and what we wanted to achieve were in place, but we needed to tweak it a little bit. And I mean, they rolled up their sleeves and they were ready to go. So when I told them about the opportunity, I wasn't sure of the reaction I might get, but it was like, "Are you kidding me? When are you leaving?" In a good way, I think. So, you know, hey, to be honest, one of the reasons I went to Carroll College is because of Tom Evans. He's a first-class person. He's a great family man. He's an unbelievable president. He's very smart, and he loves athletics. Athletics at Carroll College matters, and that's important to me, and it's no different here at Boise State. So when I talked to him, same thing. I'm disappointed you're leaving. We've really enjoyed you being here. I'm so happy for you and your family. And after that part, actually, was easy. I just needed to find a way to get here. So,
Dr. Custer alluded to it a little bit about, you know, when the job was open before, maybe needing to go outside a little bit. Did you ever, even in the back of your mind, think this would be a possibility someday again for you?
Not really. You know, I always look at it this way. If you're looking for a job, you're not doing your job. And someone had mentioned, I think it was in an earlier meeting, we talked about, did you hear about Mark leaving? And Mark and I are still real close. We talk a lot about the business, actually, to be honest with you. And I didn't even know he left. And so, not that Helena is this most isolated place where I don't know what's going on around the world, but you know, when you're in a job like that and you're starting out, I mean, it's a grind. It's every single day, every single minute, worrying about how you're going to get better every day. And to be honest, I really didn't think about it. I was so focused on trying to do my best at that place, I really didn't look around, or I wasn't concerned about what was open. And I really believe that. If you're doing your job, you don't have time to look for another job. And so, I don't know if that answers your question, but for me, I really didn't think about not only coming back to Boise State, but leaving Carroll. You know, I'm 53 years old, so I'm not an AD on the lookout, I guess I would say. Carroll was great to us, and we'd be very happy if we were still there. But no, I don't know if I thought about coming back. I just didn't think about it, I guess is the best answer.
So when you said that you were surprised to get the phone call, was it more just a surprise that the job was open, or that they thought of you right away?
That's a trick question. My wife told me to say no comment whenever possible.
Right on, baby.
Surprised that Mark left, I'm not gonna lie there. But I think he's chosen something that's good for him and his family, and I wish him the best of luck. You know, you never know. I mean, it's rare in this business. It really is rare. And I've been involved in a lot of hiring as well. And so it's rare when you get a call from somebody that says, it's you and nobody else. That does not happen very often. And so I was probably more surprised by that. Instead of, you know, usually the call would be, hey, the job's open, we're looking at some people, you know, do you want to throw your resume in the hat or something like that? This was so much different. So I was surprised by just the way that it happened, but very, very excited, I can tell you that. I had to pull over to the side of the road. I always know that no caller ID that comes up on my phone, I know who it is.
You mentioned being a part of a team, obviously, but you look at some of the things you were a part of and the facilities and things when you're here. What's next for you on the horizon? I mean, just in general terms for this athletic department, what do you want to see happen here in the near future?
Well, certainly continuance of what's happened already. What's the saying? If it's not broke, don't try and fix it. I think you can always get better. I really do. No matter where you're at, no matter how much success was there before you, I think our coaches will tell you the same thing. I look at this like an athletic team. Our staff and everybody that's a part of this. All I can tell you for sure, I don't have this grand master plan for Boise State athletics. I mean, literally, this is so fresh and new, but only to a point because I was here for so long. I'm going to be the best I can. I'm going to be the best person I can be every single day when I walk in this office. And I know that sounds a little corny, but to me, that's really, really important. And I think if everybody at this place just does that, we'll get better every day. We're still going to set the bar high. But think of all the things that have been accomplished just this year. Academically, athletically, winning championships, playing in bowl games, competing in the NCAA tournament. APRs, out of this world. That's hard to improve. You talk about pressure. You know, I feel a little bit like Harsh following Coach Pete. Imagine that. Or following Mike Krzyzewski at Duke, if that guy ever leaves. I wouldn't take that job in 2 seconds. So continuing what we've done and looking for ways to get better in little places. I don't see huge changes coming here. We have an unbelievable staff and a community, obviously, that is very, very passionate about this place. I'm going to take advantage of that, for sure.
How about one of the biggest things in the NCAA nowadays is obviously the talk of cost of attendance and the challenges that obviously lie ahead and making sure that you can do that for each and every student and athlete as Boise State has kind of obviously said that they would do.
Yeah. Well, decision obviously before I came here, but I think if you talk to Mark Coyle or Dr. Custer or our staff or our coaches, it's all about recruiting. We're right now at this place. I never thought I'd say this, but we recruit against everybody in the country now, and unfortunately, those things matter to 18-year-old kids. What am I going to get here, and what am I not going to get there? To be honest, I think it's a no-brainer. Now, we obviously have to find a way to pay for that, but recruiting is 90% of this business. And like I said before, I think it's my job to help generate the resources that are necessary for our coaches to go out and find the kind of student athletes that we want here at Boise State. But it's a challenge. I'm not just going to say it's easy to go, hey, we're going to add $1 million to the budget so that we're even with everybody. That's a lot harder to do than it is to say. And so I'm not against it for sure. And I wasn't really involved or a part of that decision, but it's been made and we're going to deal with it. And I think it allows our coaches to be more competitive out on the recruiting trail. That's important for us.
One more. Your time at Carroll College, how did it help prepare you for this moment and being the athletic director at Boise State?
I'm not sure it prepared me more, but it did remind me of a lot of things. It reminded me that regardless of what kind of organization you're a part of, you have to surround yourself with good people. And you have to be a part of a group that has leadership on campus that want you to be successful. And I have that there, and it really isn't any different here. I've always supervised, you know, in a sense, a lot of folks. In fact, it's kind of funny. I think I had more people here reporting to my office than I did when I went to Carroll. And so that really was a little different. It was certainly there, a lot more hands on deck. And what I mean by that is what I said, it reminded me maybe more than it prepared me. I had to take a step back and do things in that department that I did here 10 years ago. And that was a good reminder for me that, again, it takes everybody. And the thing that makes me so confident about being able to do this is the people that are in this room right now. Our staff's unbelievable here at Boise State. And I'm not just talking about our athletic department staff. We have great coaches. When you surround yourself with people like this, how can you fail? If you fail, you're an idiot, in my opinion. I think it's all about surrounding yourself with great people, and that's why I'm here.